Alaikum. We're carrying on now. So I finished. I'm leaving. It was called Olive Mount, but now it's called Mustafa Mount. Well, I don't know what it's called. It's Sheikh Ibrahim's Madrasa, mashallah. Very nice. To give it, just a few seconds, let people get it. Let people join. Like, I'm breakfast rapid, so I'm gonna talk. Inshallah, you give me company as I drive home. It's going down the hill now. Oh, this is good. As we carry on from where we stopped. SubhanAllah. Inshallah, you can hear this. Wait till it gets to 3 minutes, then we'll talk. La ilaha illallah. Okay, we'll start talking. What the hell? Okay, it's gonna hit 3 minutes now. We'll start talking. Okay, so carry on from the topic we were talking before. This is part two of the scholar, the Sheikh, and the Wali of Allah, the friend of Allah. So we mentioned then that basically, so Moses think we said that with the Prophet Musa alayhi salam, that he started to believe that he was the most learned person, most knowledgeable person in the world. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught him what to teach him a lesson. So he tells him about what? He tells him about what do you call it? He tells him about it's a person who's more knowledgeable than him. And then obviously it comes to some opinions of the scholars of tafsir and that. They say that he's Khidr alayhi salam, and that's a separate topic. But basically he's a friend of Allah. So that's what we call him. Oh my god, this guy. We're trying to crash into me. So this person is the friend of Allah. And we mentioned before that what is it? We mentioned something else about. So you mentioned before that the friends of Allah, the awliya of Allah, the mu'mineen, the believers, they have a special a sight that they have. So they see things like the way people do in the normal world. But the faras al mu'min, that special, it's like a spiritual sight. It's looking with the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's probably one way to describe it. It's where you can see the signs of Allah everywhere. Okay? So as they go, they'll recognize, they'll see that Allah is guiding them. Allah's shown him which way to go, what to do, how to handle things, how to handle people. Subhanallah. That's a special sight. Now these believers, they can see the shayateen, the devils in the human form. They can see they can tell the person whose heart is sick, the person whose heart is dead. You know what I mean? The hypocrites and so on. What am I saying? With what the sign tell me to go to the book. Where is this? How the gates leads when I go that way. So just let me get my bearings right. I think it's this one. I think it's this one. So anyway, the scholar. So like Musa Hassan then, so do you go, Musa manages to convince the Wali of Allah, the Wali of Allah, the friend of Allah, and they make an agreement. Basically, he's not going to question him. But what happens? He's going to question him. He's going to keep quiet. But three separate events happen. Three separate things happen. And when these three things happen, it actually tests the patience of Musa alayhi salam. One of the reasons why it tests his patience is because Musa alayhi salam, he can't understand why the friend of Allah, the Wali of Allah, is doing these actions. Because according to Musa, he would have done the opposite to what the friend of Allah would have done. And that's the lesson that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants Musa to learn, is that not everything is the way it seems. Nothing's the way it actually is. You know what I mean? So I'm just getting interrupted by the start. I think he's talking about it. So anyway, what happens then is so he starts basically, so there's like three separate tests, three separate incidents that happen. The first one is Khidr Islam and Musa, and I think the Ghulam, I don't know what the Ghulam was, the seven boy. They go traveling and then they come across these people, and they're in a ship. You've got this Safina, the boat. So do you want to get on the boat? Okay, mashallah, petrol station, I need petrol station. Alhamdulillah. I got lots of fun at the petrol station, first petrol anyway. Might as well fill it up. See, subhanAllah, even when you get lost and you think that you don't know where you are, you don't realize that Allah might be guiding you to what's better for you. I'm sure it's a petrol and I need to top up. So shall I stay in line and just go to fill up petrol, okay? Just one sec. Let me top it up. Top it up. Okay. Oh, mm-hmm. That's very good. I think I said. So it looks like no one's live here. I wonder why everyone probably sleep. But then again, it is like, what time is it? Nearly half 12. It's always on the wrong side. It's sad meant to fill up. Oh, Allah. Ba-da-ba-dum. Assalamu alaikum. Okay. Huh? No, cash. There it is. Is that enough? Jazakallah khair. How much you selling then? How much? Jazakallah khair. Sorry. Assalamu alaikum. Everyone must be asleep. I don't know. Let's go. خلاص let's carry on inshallah. Bismillah, let's start again. So as I found my way back to Liverpool, we'll carry on with the subject. So part two, what are we talking about? We're talking about the scholar and the friend of Allah. Okay, so what happened? See, today, we see the same thing happening again. Why? You're going to find people, and people need to, as you should see this, you should recognize this. You got people who go around speaking the truth, and they're standing up. See, like in Saudi Arabia, what's happening in Saudi Arabia? You've got the real scholars, the imams and stuff like that. The people like, the people who like love Allah, the people who try to get close to Allah. They're getting, they're standing up and talking against the tyranny of Saudi Arabia. And what happens? The tyrant, the oppressor, what does he do? He imprisons them, throws them in prison, and he kills them. Do you know what I mean? This is what you've got. This is the thing that you've got. You know what I mean? You've got people who follow the rules of the law and whatever, and they're fighting, and then they're going up against. They're fighting against the people. Allah Subhanahu wa Taala is giving them hidayah. So there's a lot of oppression that happens. So go back to the story of Musa alayhi salam. So the first part of the story, the first test for Musa, and his first lesson that he learns. You come across this ship, this boat, and in this boat, you've got these people, and I think they describe as poor people. They're not very rich, and they're on this boat. So they offered to give the wali of Allah, the friend of Allah, and Musa, they offered to give them a lift in the boat to take them with them, wherever they're gonna go. But what happens is subhanallah. What happens is when they're in the boat, Khidr goes and he puts a hole in the boat. He makes a hole in the boat, so water starts to come in, and the boat sinks. So now Musa look at him saying, like, what's going on? He says he doesn't understand what, he doesn't get it. He doesn't know what Khidr's doing. He doesn't know what the friend of Allah is doing. He's wondering, with these guys, they're helping us out. They're giving us a lift on this boat. How could you repay them by making a hole in the boat and sinking the boat for them? So obviously now, Khidr says, I didn't I tell you that you're not gonna understand? Didn't I tell you you're not gonna be patient? Do you know what I mean? So then what happens? What happens is what you call it? Musa goes, oh no, Khalas, okay, I'm sorry. Please forgive me, I won't do it again. Okay? No problem. Then you go to the second part of the story. The second part of the story is, I think it is, what you call it? They come across these two parents and they've got a kid. And then I think what happens is, Khidr, the wali of Allah, he ends up killing the child of these people. Okay? So he kills this, the way it looks like he kills this innocent boy. So Musa's saying it, Musa sees this and he's like, what the hell's going on, lad? Do you know what I mean? You just killed the kid. And this is interesting, this. The kid he killed, according to some of the ulama, they say the kid that he killed is actually the Dajjal at the time. Do you know what I mean? or he kills him. But like Allah knows, then if that's the case, people some ulama say, well, that can't be the Dajjal, because if the Dajjal gets killed, that means he's not going to come later on. But some say that that death is a physical death, that the Dajjal then becomes like in a spiritual form. And Allah knows about if it's authentic, the authenticity of what's said, but Allah knows. We don't know, but it's interesting anyway, it makes the story interesting. Okay, fine. Now, Musa saying around says, wait, you just killed this boy, what's going on here? Now he's getting upset about it and that. So Khidr says, didn't I tell you you're not going to be patient? Didn't I tell you you won't understand? That's the thing, subhanAllah. Khidr says to Musa that you will not understand. So he's teaching. Allah sent this the wali of Allah, the friend of Allah, Khidr, called to the ulama, some of the ulama. He's telling them, look, you do not know. Because Moses is thinking before that he knows everything. Now he's getting told, no, you don't know. There's things you don't know. There's things you don't see. Things you don't understand. Only Allah knows everything. You don't know everything. Do you know what I mean? So, okay. Musa goes, Khalas, okay. Last chance. If I do it again, then you know what? I'll go. I'll actually leave you. And remember, the prophets, they don't lie. And when they make a promise, they have to stick to the promise. So if Musa messes up a third, it's out. Like 3 strikes. Look, subhanAllah, in the Quran, 3 strikes and out, it comes from the Quran. People say, oh, where does it come from? Where's the origins in the Quran? 3 strikes and Musa's out. SubhanAllah. Anyway, so now I guess what you call it. You go to the third part of the story, and you go to this town, to this village, and now Musa and the friend of Allah, they're very, very tired, and they're looking for somewhere to stay. So when you go asking everywhere, I think you're knocking on door to door or something, everybody refuses to take them in to be, as guests. So as they're moving away, what happens? As they go away, they say Khidr and Musa, they walk past this wall that's fallen down. It's in this village. So what does Khidr do? Khidr actually starts to fix this wall. So Musa gets upset now. Musa actually gets upset. Why does he get upset? He gets upset because he's saying, wait a minute, these people never helped us or nothing. So I don't get it. Why are you helping these people? If anything, Musa is expecting Khidr to do something like bad, do something bad to them. Because compared to what he did previously, like when he put a hole in their people's boat, who gave them a lift, when he killed a child, then he's shut up. So then what happens is, then they say, so now Khidr is like being nice. And why are you being nice to these people? These people are horrible to us. I understand if he was nice before, but why are you being horrible? No, that's okay. Google says, shut up. Google. So what happened? Okay, we'll try and talk again. So now this is the interesting thing. So then Musa, basically, that's the last one. So Khidr, what he does is he builds this wall that's collapsed in this village. So now Musa goes, I don't get it. And remember now that he's spoken again, and he's basically trying to go against his teacher, which is wrong, yeah? Unless the teacher's wrong, but the teacher wasn't wrong in this case. Because this teacher is guided by Allah. Wali of Allah is a friend of Allah. Then he turns around and he says, Khalas, that's it. That's between you, that's it, it's finished. No more relationship now. I don't know you, you don't know me. But now Khidr alayhi salam, the Wali of Allah, this person is Wali of Allah, he now starts to explain what's going on. Do you get me? And what is going on? So then he starts to tell him, he says, for the first part of the story, in the first part of the story, this guy's too close behind me. So what happens is now the Wali of Allah says to Musa, it's finished between me and you. No, that's it, we don't know each other now. But he explains what actually happens, what did happen. He tells him this, he goes, okay, for the first part of the story, when he sank the boats to those people who were kind to them, the reason why he sank the boats is because behind them there was a pirate, a really bad pirate or whatever. who's going around. A king, actually, it was a king. So there was a king who's basically going around robbing boats. So he, Khidr sung, Khidr sang them. Shut up, shut up, shut up. So Khidr, he sank the boat. Why did he sink the boat? Because when the boat sank, that king was driving past, and he's seen that the boat was sinking. So he wasn't just okay, forget them. There's no point this boat sinking; it's worthless. That's the first story. The second story about the boy who got killed. So he told him, listen, that boy, he would have grew up to be a bad person, and he would have been a problem for his parents and caused his parents harm. And in one version of Tafsir, it says that he would have basically made them disbelievers. The child would have led them to disbelief. That's the second story. The third story about the town that was not to them, but we went and built the wall. So he tells Musa, he said, look, the children, these children, orphans, right? I think their father, the grandfather passed away. But he buried some gold, and the gold was underneath the wall. Now the wall has collapsed. Now, because the wall has collapsed, people are going to find the gold. So Khidr built up that wall so nobody would bother that gold until the kids are old enough. And then Allah will then guide those kids towards that gold, which belongs to their family. You know, it belongs to their granddad and whatever. So that's the story. So what's the point of this? The point of this is, what you call it, we should be careful, man. We should be looking for the people of Allah. We should be looking out for the awliya. That's what we need to do. Look out for the awliya. Listen to the awliya. Follow the mu'mineen, the believers. Don't follow these fake sheikhs. You know what I mean? Who just make reading things from books, and they're writing. They write as they go along. Every day you're hearing something halal something haram has become halal. You know what I mean? Every day everything's changing. The books of fiqh are getting more and more, getting bigger and bigger. People are making their own opinions, and some of the opinions are crazy. The madman, like I had one sheikh, he's on television, and he's saying that in COVID time, you can get your salah jama'ah, you can still get it in your house, pray with your family, and if you got, or you can pray with the television. He's actually saying it's okay to pray while they're praying in Mecca on television. It's okay to pray with them, and your salat's accepted. A'udhu billah. So we're going to stop there, inshallah. Kind of time, so I'm going to take a break. Take care, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.